Forget about what's going on in the markets for a second. For these next 10 to 15 minutes, I want you to lock in, because what Ripple just did right before the biggest event of the year, this changes absolutely everything. I mean, we're talking new products, new partnerships, and a move that could literally flip the switch for institutional crypto adoption in the United States. But before I even get into that bombshell, something massive just happened in the Bitcoin world. Remember, Bitcoin's your highway. We all want Bitcoin to succeed. Grant Cardone, yeah, the real estate mogul out there. Well, he just dropped the $52 million into Bitcoin today, and he's not done. He's about to go all in. He's planning another $300 million buy. This isn't speculation anymore, folks. This is the moment when billion-dollar money starts focusing and forcing these old school real estate people to see that the future is all with digital assets. So if you're wondering what Ripple's big move means, or why the smart money is repositioning now, stick with me, because you're about to find out. Because by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly how these puzzle pieces all fit together, and why Swell 2025 might be remembered as the moment crypto officially went mainstream. Let's dive into this, folks. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you never miss an epic moment, and hit that thumbs up for me. The more people that hit thumbs up, the more YouTube's going to push this content, because everyone in crypto world, they need to hear what this video is about to bring. And we're going to dive in and start right here. Picture this: Florida sunshine, skyscrapers, palm trees, exactly what I see out my window right now. And Grant Cardone pacing across his office like a general before battle. Today, Cardone Capital, one of the biggest real estate investment firms in the country, they just purchased $52 million worth of Bitcoin. No, that's not a mistake. They already hold roughly 1,000 Bitcoin worth about 100 million. And now they are planning to add 3,000 more. This isn't a random move, everyone. This is strategy. Turning property cash flows into Bitcoin reserves, from brick and mortars to stats and code. They are literally fusing real estate with the blockchain economy. Look, Cardone said it himself. I'm not guessing here. I am forecasting. It's exactly what we're doing on XRP throughout this video. We're forecasting where it goes, because you know what? I know XRP is worth more than $2. I won't sell a single XRP. I know my XRP is worth more than $5, and I won't sell a single, because I'm forecasting where this goes. And when you understand Grant Cardone's mindset, guess what? It all actually makes sense. He's been in the cash flow game for decades. He knows how inflation eats real estate margins. And now he's betting Bitcoin with its fixed supply and global liquidity is the ultimate hedge. And guess what? He's right, because this is bigger than an investment. This is a signal. Because when the old money, the concrete money, your tenant money starts moving into Bitcoin, you know we are entering the next phase of adoption. And Cardone's not alone. In fact, folks, what is happening on the Dogecoin side right now might be even crazier. We get over to this CleanCore Solutions. Now look, you heard of MicroStrategy, right? This is the MicroStrategy of Dogecoin. Imagine the same playbook for MicroStrategy and its Bitcoin stack, right? Now imagine another company doing this, but for Dogecoin. Well, they are. Meet CleanCore Solutions. Ticker symbol goes under Zone. And get this, they are officially managing now 710 million Dogecoin. No, that's not a typo. 710 million. They are the official Dogecoin treasury, backed by the Dogecoin Foundation and managed with institutional grade custody through Robinhood and Bitstamp. You probably heard of those two, right? And the results? Well, simple. Already $20 million in unrealized gains in their first month. Their goal is 1 billion Doge under management by Q1 of next year, 2026. But here's the twist, because this isn't just about holding. They're actually building out utility. CleanCore and the House of Doge are developing a Doge-based payment system, tokenized assets, even yield products, and cross-chain integrations. Let that sink in. Doge is evolving from a meme coin, right, to real financial engine. Think of it this way. Owning Doge is owning the currency. But if you're owning Zone, that is owning the machine. that runs the economy around it. And the people behind it, well, you got Elon Musk's lawyer, Alex Barrow, he's the chairman. Pantera Capital backs it, Falcon X backs it, and Mozox, they are all in. This is meme culture going Wall Street. And guess what? It's working. But while the spotlight is on Doge, Ripple has been quietly laying down the infrastructure that makes this kind of institutional crypto economy possible. Let's talk about that. We're going to do a little rewind, and this is going to set the stage for the big announcement that Ripple just dropped right before Swell 2025. 7 years ago, Ripple stood face to face with Swift, the 50-year-old system that moves money across the planet. You know who Swift is. Back then, people laughed. They mocked us, right? They said Ripple can't replace banks. Now, well, those same banks, they're using RippleNet. Brad Garlinghouse breaks it down, and we're going to listen to him here. Ripple isn't trying to fight the system anymore. They never were. They are rebuilding the system from the inside, all the way back out to the outside, with the regulators, not against the regulators. Listen to Brad here.
It's the volume
for sure
out there. What kind of volume are you looking at?
Well, we've had one that we can talk publicly about is we have one corridor run by SEB, which is one of the first or second largest bank in Sweden, has done over $1 billion USD equivalent through one corridor. So while on the global macro scale, that we're still just getting started. I think we're on mile 1 of a marathon, but we've crossed that starting line. Like, this is real activity in production systems where customers are really benefiting from that. We clearly have a long way to go, and the overall maturity of the digital asset market, I think, has a long way to go. But if we keep going back to let's focus on a real problem and solve a real problem for real customers, I'm really optimistic.
You have several products. We talked about the system, RippleNet. You also have a digital token, which is the XRP. How is the XRP doing? Because we saw it surge 1,300%.
Right. So XRP actually was the best performing digital asset in 2017. It was up, I think, something like 25,000%. The excitement around digital assets is because I think you're solving a real problem. And I think one of the things you saw happen, particularly last December, is there's understandably concern about regulation and what does that mean for digital assets. From the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute, back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP.
I like creating value. And that's exactly what they are doing. Look, RippleNet is now the connective tissue for global finance, and XRP, that is your liquidity layer that's going to power it. That's not a theory. That is live cross-border settlement. And if it uses the XRP ledger, it uses XRP. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And as this framework starts to tighten, right, something even bigger has emerged. We're talking RLUSD, the institutional stablecoin. It just hit a massive milestone, over $1 billion market cap, fully backed 1-to-1 with the United States dollar. The most transparent and institution-ready stablecoin on the market. Think of it like this. USDT runs retail. Cool. USDC, that runs fintech. All right. But RLUSD, that's for the banks. 1 year in, and Ripple is proving what no one else could. You blend blockchain speed with Wall Street stability. And that's why this next announcement was so shocking. We're talking about this. Ripple's prime brokerage launched. Ripple launched a digital asset prime brokerage in the United States. We're going to break down what this actually is and what it does. So it means custody, liquidity, trading, settlement, all in one institutional grade platform. Perhaps that's why we're seeing JP Morgan, Fidelity, and Goldman Sachs at swell, right? Because this is exactly what Goldman, Fidelity, and JP Morgan, this is what they do for traditional assets, except Ripple is doing it for crypto. They're not waiting for regulations. They are building it. This move sets the stage for mass institutional inflows into digital assets. But here's what's wild, because all of this is happening days before Ripple's Swell event, the company's flagship conference. If this is what they're announcing before their event, imagine what is coming at the event. Those same companies we just mentioned are going to be at Swell for the first time ever. So what does this actually do? Well, we asked Grok, and we wanted Grok to break this down for us, right? And it tells us up here, about the prime brokerage. It says to think of a prime broker as the Goldman Sachs desk for big money players, but now it is built for crypto. It tells you it's a one-stop Wall Street cockpit. Hedge funds, banks, and family offices log in and trade OTC spot so you can buy or sell XRP with it, RLUSD, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of it, right? All with a huge size without moving your public prices. Swaps, CME futures, FX, bonds, and metals, all under one margin wallet. Then it talks about its cross margin magic here. It says you can use your XRP holdings as collateral to leverage a Bitcoin futures trade or Ripple stablecoin to fund a treasury repo. No more siloed accounts, 30 to 50% less capital that is going to be tied up. And of course, it's 24/7 institutional plumbing, instant XRP ledger settlement, real-time risk chest, SOC 2 security, and white glove executions desk. Think about how big that is. Now it goes on here. It says why this is a rocket fuel bullish for XRP and RLUSD. Well, it states institutional floodgates equals real demand. 300 plus funds that cleared 3 trillion on Hidden Road now have XRP and RLUSD front and center on every trading bladder, folks. RLUSD already 1 billion plus minted. That becomes your default collateral stablecoin. So every margin call, every repo, every swap now sucks in RLUSD. Over the desk quotes, you get a tighter WED, which is your liquidity flywheel, which is going to spin faster. Your network effect on steroids is every trade settled on the XRP ledger minus your fees, more RLUSD locked as collateral, higher XRP velocity, price discovery moves from retail memes to BlackRock style flows. I like that. So short term, long term, and medium term, let's break it down. Short term, XRP and RLUSD death, a Ripple Prime, 5 to 10x daily institutional volume in weeks. Medium term, RLUSD flips USDC in Prime broker wallets. Cheaper, faster, and XRP ledger settlement. And then your long-term vision here, trillions in TradeFi. Balance sheets treating XRP and RLUSD like cash equivalents. And then it goes to end it. The infrastructure is live. The big money, it just got the green light. Folks, that is huge. And as all that is going on, well, we see the biggest liquidation in history occurred October 10th. Tom Lee, the guy who called multiple Bitcoin rallies, he just said that October was the biggest liquidation in the history of crypto. Bigger than Celsius, bigger than FT, billions wiped out, leverage destroyed, fear everywhere. I mean, it was a complete market reset. But here's what he's added. He still sees Bitcoin hitting 150 to 200,000 by the end of the year, within your next 60 days. Listen up.
I mean, if I look at everything since October 10th, because that was the biggest liquidation in the history of crypto, like bigger than FTX.
Like a margin call almost.
Yeah, it was like almost a miniature rupture, like a tsunami. We're only a couple weeks from that, so I think the market is consolidating. But if I look at fundamentals, like Ethereum, stablecoin volumes have been exploding, application revenues at all-time highs. So right now, fundamentals are leading price in crypto. So I think eventually we consolidate and then we rally into year end.
Where 150.
Look, if he's right, the entire liquidation, it wasn't a collapse. It was a reset. I've been stating that that was a reset. They're starting the markets over again. That's exactly what's lining up right now. So when we tie this all together, you got Cardone Capital moves from real estate to Bitcoin, CleanCore institutional Dogecoin, Ripple expands its ecosystem with RLUSD and a US prime brokerage. Tom Lee's still calling for a 6-figure Bitcoin rally to year end, 150 to 200,000. Every one of these moves points to the same exact conclusion. Your institutions aren't coming. They are already here. We're watching the traditional system merge with the blockchain economy in real time. And Ripple's timing, days before we're swell, it's not an accident. So don't just watch from the sidelines. This is your signal. You better start paying attention, because when the dust settles, the one who actually understood what is really happening will be the ones holding the future. Smash that like button, folks, if you're ready for the next push up. I know I am, man. And drop a comment. What do you think is going to be the biggest prediction that's going to come out of Swell, which is going down today and tomorrow? I can't wait for that. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see all y'all